I guess it was a chance to see if or what camping is like with a power station. So the only bit of power I'm going to be using off the car is the lights. Other than that, everything else has been run off the Bluetti portable power station. We got this power station from Bluetti. It's the Elite 100 V2 or version 2. So at the moment I've got the fridge running off it, charging the drone, the phone, the GoPro, drone batteries. How I managed to drop the whole tray and everything out of there, so it's broken some bits off. So I got to give it a little bit to get in there, but that's all right. So yeah, 5 minutes. The light off there so you can see it. We'll hit the button here. G'day, how are you there? Diesel here from Getting Around Oz, camper trailer travelling, and today's video is about this one here. So Bluetti Elite 100 V2, or what I think is the version 2. We recently took this out camping, used this to power our fridge and all the other bits and pieces that we use for camping. Essentially using it as our power supply for camping. And I'm going to tell you what I like about this, and I'm going to tell you something I don't like about it. And I hope this one is going to be helpful. I'm taking this as a camper's perspective and for camping. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one. Like the video if you can. I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel as well and got on board with us. But in the meantime, grab yourself a coldie, make yourself comfortable, and let's get into it. Okay, so now it's time to tell you a bit about this one here, and I've got to say I'm actually impressed with this one, to be honest with you. I kind of didn't know what to expect. I haven't used Bluetti's gear in a while. I had a EB3A a couple of years ago. That was pretty good, but it was pretty small and not quite big enough for what I needed. But as you can see in this trip, this is something that I can use, and I feel like a lot of people could use it and would definitely have a need for it, that's for sure. I guess if you're looking at a power station, you're probably looking at one because you don't want to have to fork out for a battery. You don't have to fork out for an inverter. You don't have to fork out for a charger. You also then don't want to fork out for all the cables. You don't want to fork out again for someone to put all these things in. That's expensive. I think for what this can do, you would definitely be looking at $2,000 plus comfortably for what you get in a spec unit. But in saying that, I guess the other thing you need is something with connections and plugs and all those types of things. This one is quite small, smaller than I thought it would be, that's for sure. The old one, I think it was the AC180, which is the previous version of this, if you like, was much bigger. You can see here, this one here it's super small, a bit wider than my head perhaps. I do want to let you know, I did get this one for free from Bluetti, but there's no expectation of what I can say or what I can't say about it, so you're going to get some opinions and thoughts today. Maybe you like it, maybe you won't. They have set up a discount code for you. There's a link in the description, so if you use that there, you can grab yourself something from Bluetti on the cheap. Everything I'm going to tell you is going to be from a perspective of camping, and can you use this for camping? If you're going to use this for camping, what can you expect? But if you're considering something like this for camping, there's some things that you need to think about as well before you splash out some decent coin. Battery wise is 1024 watt hours, which by memory is around 85 amp hours. So at the moment I've got the fridge running off it, charging the drone, the phone, the GoPro, drone batteries. this one here is a little bit busted. The other night at home, I need to somehow manage to drop the whole tray and everything out of there, so it's broken some bits off. So I got to give it a little bit to get in there, but that's all right. So we'll go 5 minutes. Set the light off there so you can see it. We'll hit the button here. So what's it using? Just shy of 1500 watts. Now the battery in this thing, it is a lithium battery, which is good. That means you can use the whole battery, not just part of it, like an AGM battery, for example. This one here, you can use it for 100% to, I think it's 20%. It'll start giving you warnings that it's getting flat. That's if you're using the app. But it will, you can set it to shut off at that point. But it will run all the way down if you let it. Now this does have a pure sine wave inverter as well, so it is an 1800 watt inverter, which would likely power most appliances you would need or would have thought. For us, the 1500 watt air fryer is the maximum we go to for camping. Sometimes we want a little bit more. The toaster is probably the other one we use, but at 1800 watts, that's an inverter. I think it's a pretty good size, a pretty good option in this one here. I'm not sure there's too many things you would want camping that would run more power than that. If you probably want a big inverter, you're going to go to a bigger system anyway, I reckon, but I reckon that's a good enough size. Now this one does charge really fast. Plug it into the 240 socket at home. I think it was just around an hour and a half from 0 to 100, so I did run it dead to see how long it would take. That's much faster than any unit I've used in the past. Normally you probably get 2.5 or something like that. So if you're in a hurry, you need to get a charge quickly, you can definitely do that. It does have custom charging modes. So depending on what type of electrical setup you have in your house, you can set this to charge slower, a little bit faster, or fastest. Ports on this thing, they're everywhere. And there's one that, well, probably two that actually got my interest. So as you can see here, you got the two 240 volt sockets. This one here is for solar, which I don't have at this point. 6 socket there if that's what you need. And these ones here if you need to plug it into the car to charge off the car. We got the 2 USB-A ports on the front here, which are 15 watts. On the right side, we've got the USB-C, which is 100 watts. And on the left side there, we've got a USB-C that's 140 watts. Now, I was pretty curious to see what that was like. And remember, if you're charging stuff, it is limited by the type of cable you use, but also the device's capabilities. Not everything will charge that fast. But I used the GoPro on here, for example, last night, and it charged super quick. Now, I've used 100 watt USB-C connections in the past, but that extra 40 watts, let me tell you, if you're needing to do things on the go, it is very bloody handy. Noise-wise, this is something you probably would put in your tent or your swag, for example, or even if you had this in the camper trailer. Noise-wise, it's rated at 30 decibels, but honestly, the ventilation this has, and when the fan kicks in, it's not that loud at all, to be honest with you, so I don't think that's something you would notice. Now, for the thing that it didn't do it for me, and I think it has a carry handle, right, which you can see up the top here. I mean, it's not heavy, it is easy to carry around, but when I wanted to have it in the back here, right, and if you're going to have it in the back of the car to charge the fridge like I was, this thing here is going to do it. I need to fix it down. I couldn't put it up top there. I had to put it down the side here and sort of load in around it, but it needs some way. I think on the side there would be the go. On the back, or you probably couldn't do it on the front there, but I think if it had some sort of tie down points there, it'd keep it in place, because I was worried about this when I was going. And I mean, when you're going camping, you're normally going off-road, or you're going, down the beach or whatever, and it's going to be some bloody pretty rough tracks. You do need to bloody fix this thing down. So that's definitely something they've missed there. I don't know how you would do that. I feel like if you did that, you probably would need to make it a bit bigger anyway, but out of everything, that's the one thing that just doesn't do it for me. These connections here in Australia, they're not plugs, well, they're not connections we use for solar panels. All our solar panels in Australia are all Anderson plugs. I've got a cable that I've put together to connect to an Anderson plug, which is what anyone can do, but honestly, Anderson plugs is the connection. I don't know how you do it, but that's my other bit of bloody feedback. But with all that said and done, I do think this is a good option for camping. I haven't been sold on these in the past. I know they're handy. The size of this makes it, you know, a pretty good option, to be honest with you. The mix with the battery and the inverter size and the connections here, and it's not clunky, it's easy to use, it's smooth. I've had no problems with this one at all. So I would definitely recommend this for camping if you're considering something like this. I think at the price point, it's about right as well. If you're looking to get this one on special or save yourself some money, don't forget there's a discount code there which you can make the most of. There you go, that's my thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. You will see us using this again in the future. If you've got a scenario where you would like us to use this or test this, let us know. We'll try and do it for you, or by all means, you know, jump on the socials and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. But I'll wrap them up here. Feel free to like the video if you want to get behind us and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. And I'm Deez from Getting Around Oz. Camper Trailer Travin. We'll catch the next one. Hooroo.